Good evening, friends, and welcome to an unscheduled live stream with Crime Time with DutyRon. Tonight we have a missing child to report. Amber Alert's been out there. Her name is Jenè Sena or Sena, depending on there's different people pronouncing it different ways, but the way I would pronounce it is Jenè Sena. Missing from upstate New York, my hometown. The reason I was late coming live here with you tonight, my home state, not my hometown, my home state, upstate New York, just north of Saratoga, New York. So this park where she went missing from is right at the foot of the Adirondack Mountains. It's a very, very heavily dense wooded area campground. We're going to take a listen to it tonight. I want to get her face and her name out there so everybody gets to see her. So let me just put this up real quick, and I'm going to play a little piece from our local news, Channel 2.
Hochul says it is every parent's nightmare. A 9-year-old girl disappeared from a popular New York State park. State police issuing an Amber Alert and raising the possibility the girl was abducted. CBS 2's Tony Aiello live in our newsroom with the late details. Tony?
Jessica, Jenè Sena now has been missing a little more than 24 hours. A massive effort is underway near Saratoga Springs to locate Charlotte. Governor Hochul offered an update after meeting with the missing girl's family.
As a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they're going through.
Governor Hochul's somber demeanor reflecting the high concern for the safety of 9-year-old Jenè Sena, who vanished from a popular state park 190 miles north of New York City. This is a map of Moreau Lake State Park. Charlotte and her family were camping in an area known as Loop A. She'd been riding her bike with friends, then decided to do one more loop alone. Her bike with friends, then.
So I just want to stop it there so you can see how massive this park is, this national park, this state park. It is massive, and it's got large bodies of water, large lakes, a lot of dense, as you can see, wooded area. She's been missing over 24 hours. It was 6:15 on Saturday evening, September 30th. Again, the parks police, the parks rangers, the state police, the FBI, they have searched high and low with air assets. They used helicopters, drones. They put boats in the water with sonar. They had bloodhounds out there. There's been numerous assets for over 18 hours searching for Charlotte with negative results, which then force them to obviously put an Amber Alert out, because as we'll hear from the state police, I believe it's Troop P as in Peter up there, they believe that this may be an abduction. 9 years young, 9 years old, a fourth grader out on a camping trip with her family. Horrifying.
Charlotte and her family were camping in an area known as Loop A. She'd been riding her bike with friends, then decided to do one more loop alone. Google Street View shows the loop is a paved road that passes through a heavily wooded area.
So that was this is a Google Street View, and this gives you an idea of the path where she wanted to do that one last loop on her own. And after 15 minutes of her not returning from that loop, as they describe it, her parents started looking, and they found her bike. And then a short time after, I believe it was 6:45, they made the call to 911 and got the ball rolling with the state police.
More loop alone. Google Street View shows the loop is a. She'd been riding her bike with friends, then decided to do one more loop alone. Google Street View shows the loop is a paved road that passes through a heavily wooded area.
Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins.
State police promptly initiated a search that lasted hours, employing dogs, drones, and boats. Fears are growing Charlotte was abducted.
After that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
The governor said work to pinpoint people who might have encountered Charlotte include specialized technology.
We brought in technology experts also to analyze other forms of communications in the park at that time.
I really don't want to get into the cameras and the technological aspects of our investigation and our search at this time, but I can assure you we are doing everything we can to reunite Charlotte with her family.
We're told the Sena family and other people camping at the park searched for Charlotte for about 30 minutes before calling 911 at 6:47 last night. Police did find Charlotte's bicycle. She just turned 9 a month ago, was a fourth grader just elected to student council. Governor Hochul says state police will spare no effort to locate this.
So I wanted to just say a couple of things in regards to the cameras and the technology that they don't want to share. And, you know, again, it's a valid thing for people to say, well, why wouldn't they want to share that? Because maybe they have information on those cameras that only the bad guy or bad people who were responsible for her disappearance would only know. And they don't want to lead and give them a heads up that they're on to them. So again, this hits close to home because this is my state. This is New York State, and once I saw this, a fourth grader, 9-year-old, just disappear. I wanted to highlight this case. It's not going to be a long live stream because I didn't want the day to start tomorrow and then not be able to do it. I'm going to give you the full conference because this actually goes over a lot of the information. This is the press conference. I'm going to play it. But before I play it, I just want to let you guys know that, you know, when things like this happen, my phone starts to blow up. A lot of people contacting me, and Twyla Cisco, who's the drone search coordinator for EquiSearch Midwest, she just texted me and she said, "Hey, DutyRon, if they need our assistance, if the state police, FBI, or any of the local authorities need our assistance, we can locate and our drones, the drone technology available." So Twyla, as soon as you give me the thumbs up, I'll add you in. She's joining us. Okay, she's got thumbs up. Her mic is muted. I love her. She's like ready to go. Twyla, EquiSearch Midwest Search Coordinator, Drone Search. Twyla, thank you. Your thoughts on this? Have you heard about this? Is this something that's been circulating within EquiSearch?
I actually got a phone call from Dave about 30 minutes ago, and he told me about it, and I heard a little bit about it, and then I started reading about it, and Dave said since DutyRon's up in that area and he's our law enforcement liaison, if you want to make contact with him, go ahead and do it, and you and DutyRon could see what y'all could do to work this out and see what we can do. So that's when I text you, but Dave actually called me about it. He couldn't sleep. He read about it or heard about it. As a matter of fact, you shared it because he said, DutyRon just shared it. Do you want to reach out, make contact, and see if we can assist? And I was like, sure. So that's what I did.
Well, Twyla, I shared it. I shared it onto Facebook into my police and crime chat group, and I shared it publicly onto my Facebook. So all of my friends and family and people that live in the New York State area and that local region can get to see it. You know, I hate when I see this stuff, and there's so much of this. I could start a whole second channel just for the missing. And that's probably not a bad idea to maybe start something like that where we can highlight all of the missing person cases, like each week do a series of 10 or more. I mean, it would be difficult to actually do them all, as you know. I mean, you guys get so many phone calls, but I quickly grabbed my EquiSearch hat and I said, let me just do a quick live stream to, you know, put some awareness out there and, you know, just to get the word out there.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to grab nothing. I grabbed my house coat and I was like, let me go ahead and do this. I called Dave, told him that you were going on about it, and he said, go on there and do what you got to do, and you guys let me know what y'all figure out. I said, okay, we will.
Yeah. So I'm in contact with her aunt, as I told you in the chat. So she's been messaging me back and forth before I went live here tonight. But really, I want to just put out as much information as I can here tonight to get her face out there. I have her thumbnail from the Amber Alert, the state police. I'm going to link the state police. I think I have it in the description. If you have any tips or any information, just call that tip line that's in the description. These things are horrible. I know you're a mom, Twyla, and this is a parent's worst nightmare, as these reporters said. Now, the sad part about this is that missing, not just children, missing people, we have over 800,000 every year. And out of those 800,000, a great deal of them kind of resolve themselves where they come home, or if they've run away, or people just leave on their own. But every person and every family, deserves to get the attention. And in these cases, it's just so odd how, listen, my whole TV, and the reason I know about it is because I was watching my news and it came up on the news. I saw it yesterday. I saw it today. And then tonight I said, listen, I want to put something out there. So I wanted to come live to, get the name, get the face, get the word out there. And if anybody sees something, please say something, call up.
That is the most important and most crucial thing when somebody goes missing, is to keep their face out there, keep their posters out there, their pictures out there, and share. And I had no idea that you were about to go live, and you had no idea that I was about to send you a message about this. And I had no idea that Dave was calling me about it. So I guess we were all three thinking alike. I was reading that just a minute ago and doing my research and taking notes on that. I wanted to know, I reached out to you to tell you, so you probably got connections up that way, about reaching out to offer our assistance. And if you can get any confirmation if her shirt was actually orange tie-dye or pink tie-dye like she has in this picture here, because I was reading orange tie-dye, and we want to offer our locate services with our drones. If they've already took drone images, we can use theirs if they're up to standards of how we need them. But whatever we could possibly do, if the family is watching this, we as EquiSearch and DutyRon and DutyRon family and community want to do anything that we possibly can do to help the family, law enforcement, anybody that needs our assistance, absolutely free of charge. All they would have to do is reach out to us and let us know, and we'll get a plan in action and start doing whatever we possibly can to help for this little girl, because every second matters in situations like this. Every single second.
Absolutely. And I'm texting the aunt right now, Jenè Sena, Sena. I think they pronounce it Sena. I'm going to text her and ask if it's orange or the pink.
Okay. Yeah, because I read like 2 or 3 news articles today, just a minute ago.
She just confirmed with me that it's pink tie-dye Pokemon.
Okay.
So
that's what Dave told me, and I was like, Dave, are you sure? Because it's saying on here orange, so I'm glad we got confirmation. But we can most definitely use the color pink, and we have had success with pink with the drones and locate. We would just need to get some kind of approval from law enforcement. I seen where the governor was giving updates. I think they did an update a few hours ago or whatever. But DutyRon, if you're in connection with the aunt, you can let her know how to get in touch with me or Dave, and then we can give her the steps to take from there to go ahead and do whatever we can to try to assist. It doesn't matter what time it is that she needs to call. She could call me or Dave. It doesn't matter what time it is. We'll take her call and do whatever we can to help.
I'm just sharing that information with her right now as you're speaking. But as we have up on the screen, this is probably the shirt, pink Pokemon, with the Pokemon figure on the front. It says missing child, 9 years old, Charlotte Sena, was last seen at Moreau Lake State Park at about 6:15 p.m. on September 30th. That's Saturday. She's 5'1" tall, 90 pounds, with blonde hair, dirty blonde hair. Last seen wearing a tie-dye pink Pokemon shirt, blue pants, black Croc shoes. Anyone with information, please call the New York State Troopers at 518-457-6811 or email crimetip@troopers.newyork.gov. That's linked in the description down below, folks. Again, share this video, share it out onto your social media platforms, and let's get the word out there. Twyla, she's explained to me they already did drone service searches, but maybe they get other areas. I'm just going to explain to her real quick about locate. Is that okay that I just talked to her?
Yes, absolutely. And then we also can do thermal also, which we got good success with that also. And just make sure to let her know that our services are completely free, and please don't hesitate to reach out. And for anybody that's out there that sees something, make sure that you say something, because every piece of information is important. And even if you see something and you're not sure, still try to report it to the authorities, because you never know, that little bit of information that you have could be the most important information that's out there that's needed to bring this little girl home.
Absolutely. Twyla, do you have some time to hang out? This is only about 5 minutes long, this press conference. Could I play it? And will you hang out with me? All right. So you can mute yourself so there's no noise. And if you want to move about and, whatever, get comfortable, or if you want to just stay there, you're good. I'll just play this so everybody could hear the press conference.
Look on this. And of course, that's hearing from this. And of course, that's just a little bit north of Albany, New York, in Saratoga County, New York. And of course, we're also hearing from the governor, Kathy Hochul, on this as the search continues. Let's listen into any update they may provide.
I'm joined today by Lieutenant Colonel
This is the governor
Richard
of New York
Mazzone,
State, Hochul.
Troop Chief Commander Major Dennis Shager. We also have representation from law enforcement, including the FBI. On a picture-perfect fall day here in upstate New York, Charlotte Sena's family and friends gathered for a weekend of friendship and food and enjoying one of the last few days of good weather. They came here to just have an ordinary time. The kids could have a chance to be in nature, have a chance to be kids. And they came to this beautiful scenic state park, Moreau State Park, literally 15 minutes from where Charlotte and her two sisters were raised. They rode bikes around the loop road we see. They camped, they cooked out, and they're here to make memories, the kind that last a lifetime. But instead, the day turned into every parent's nightmare. I just met with Charlotte's parents, David and Tricia, obviously distraught. And as a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they're going through. They shared with me how joyful their little girl is. A fourth grader just recently elected to be a class officer for student council. And everybody thought of her as just a really nice girl, the kind that people wanted to be friends with, the kind that looked out for other children, the pride of every parent. So it's a very hard time for her family. I'll go through the circumstances of her disappearance, and we'll have representation from law enforcement talk about the search. Charlotte was camping with her family here in Moreau State Park. Last evening, she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark. It was right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops with close friends she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around Troop A, she said she just wanted to go around one more time by herself. Be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins. Her parents knew immediately something was up. They called her name. People started searching. People from other campgrounds joined. And 30 minutes later, at 6:47, Charlotte's mother, Tricia, called 911. The scene was chaotic. People leaving their food, leaving their tables, just everyone in search, calling the name Charlotte. Charlotte. By 7 p.m., the state police were on site. And for the last 18 plus hours, teams from the New York State Police, dogs, aviation, our bloodhounds are here. The sword operators, our special response teams are on site. New York State Park Police, forest rangers, underwater rescue teams, and drones. We brought in technology experts also to analyze other forms of communications in the park at that time. A command post has been established at the state park right behind us. And additional search teams were deployed this morning. Right now, there's over 100 personnel deployed, 75 law enforcement on the ground, the 2 drones, an airboat search team, 6 underwater rescue teams, another boat that has sonar. We also have the Schenectady Fire Office here assisting with the search, given that Charlene is the niece of one of the members of the Schenectady Fire Department. We are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined in our search to find Charlotte. We'll keep the members of the public updated. I promised her parents we'll find her daughter. She's all of our daughters. Their family needs love. They need prayers. And if you know anything, if you've seen anything, you hear anything, please contact 911 to tell us what you know and what you may contribute to the search for this little girl. Hearts are broken here today in New York. Hopefully there'll be a reunion. Hopefully there'll be a family that has been traumatized but is reunited. That is our prayer and our hope at this time. With that, let me bring up Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone to follow up on our continuing search for Charlotte.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police Uniform Force. Shortly before 7 p.m. last night, State Police responded to Moreau State Park in the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte E. Sena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, forest rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. The missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for the commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte E. Sena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet.
I just want to correct that. Again, these press conferences, it's the information that they have, and sometimes it changes. But I got confirmation from the family that, in fact, it is a pink Pokemon T-shirt. He said that it was a different color there. I want to interrupt this just for a moment. As soon as Jean gives me the thumbs up, I'll add her. This is her aunt. This is Charlotte's aunt joining us live. I'm going to just go back to myself, and we'll get back to this press conference in a minute. Jean, thank you so much for taking the time out to come here. I know this is a difficult time for you. We're sending strength, prayers, and positive vibes as a retired New York City police detective. My entire community, there's over 1,200 people watching this live stream, are praying for you and your family for her safe return. Any thoughts on what's going on? Anything that you can offer us, information wise, anything additional than to what we've already hearing here? Ooh, I can't hear your headphone. I can't hear audio. Okay. All right. We'll try it. She's going to try something different, maybe.
AirPods.
Okay. Now I got you. I could hear you without the AirPods. Yeah. Put them down.
Are you then?
Yeah. Now. Oh, but now you can't hear me. So okay. So if they're back in and now I can hear you. All right. But so what happens is when you connect, you have to have your phone recognize the AirPods, like in the Bluetooth. If your phone's not recognizing it, then this won't recognize it. So that's why I can't hear you when you're talking now, but when you take it out, then I can hear you because your phone audio is working. It's kind of weird, and that's why I sent instructions early. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Should I?
Now, technology, ladies and gentlemen. Twyla, this is almost like you. This is almost like what happens with you sometimes.
Yeah, I know it.
All right, but I want to hear from her, so hopefully she'll get that corrected. All right.
DutyRon, maybe if she can hear us, maybe she can leave out, because I've left out before. Leave out and turn your Bluetooth, your ear things off, and then come back in with the earbuds off and see if that works.
Oh, okay. But if her earbuds aren't paired up with her phone and connected to them, when she connects to StreamYard, then it won't be where you can hear it. Like I've done that several times. So hopefully she gets it right, and then hopefully she can come back.
Does she see the mic at the bottom of her screen? Does it look like it has a mark over it, like it's off?
See, now it's going to be echoey without the headphones on.
She's got her mic muted. Hit the mic button again.
Okay.
There we go.
Can you hear me? I know. I have so many problems with the AirPods. I work in television. Perfect. I know. And I do Zoom TV segments since the pandemic from my dining room, and they don't work half the time.
But now you're perfect. Now you're perfect. We could hear you perfectly.
Great. No AirPods. The really tough thing is I don't have any more. I mean, I've been there all day. We're finally home. We're going back tomorrow morning. There isn't any more information. That's what's, I think, challenging for my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, is that there isn't any information. I know that the state police are out there. I know that they're doing their job. I mean, there's more police. I mean, in my 20 years of journalism, there's more police than I've ever seen on a scene, and they're not. If there is information, they're not really sharing it with us.
Right, and they really can't share everything that they have for, to keep the investigation close. But some of the things that I would say that, obviously we won't want to speak about this here. Anybody that was around the family that was outside of the family circle, like it said in those news reports, it's already out there that she was riding with friends. So obviously they're going to grab all of those friends and then their surrounding family, because they work, they do this victimology thing. So what they do is they see who has had contact with her within the last, say, week or so, right? She's only 9 years old, but you're going to look at all of her. If she had a cell phone, which most 9-year-olds do nowadays, right? They're going to look.
Believe it or not, she didn't.
Okay.
That was something that my sister-in-law just felt like she didn't want. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things where for their family, they opted to not do that.
So anybody that was at that campsite in that, I think they said Section A, they were in the campsite.
Loop A.
Right. So
Group A.
So in that group A, obviously everybody that's there gets questioned and they look, and this stuff takes time. But what's happening now, as what you're seeing, is the immediate search for her. You know, aviation with the helicopters you heard, but the foliage there is still on the trees. So all the trees are it's so dark, and Twyla,
Yes.
Twyla, I want to introduce you, Gene, to Twyla. I'm sorry, I got a little ahead of myself here, but she's the search coordinator for EquiSearch Midwest, the organization I was telling you about.
Yes.
So she's already offered up that program, which takes the images that they've already did with their drones, and then it looks for those colors.
Mm-hmm.
Twyla,
Okay.
can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So they can put we could try to use the images that they've already, took for their drones or whatever, because this program can see things that we can't see with our eyes. It can pick out a color of, say this pink thing that I have on here. I would put this color into the program locate, and we would run these drone images, and we would only need something probably about the size of $50 for this program to be able to pick it up, and then it would give us coordinates on where this actual object or item is, and then that's when we send people in there on foot, which would be law enforcement or dogs or something like that, to try to rule out things that's not out there. We've had really good success with that. If you could make contact with any detective that's working the case, DutyRon has our contact information. Our services are completely free. We also we can use thermal. We still got time for that. Just don't give up hope, and just know that I'm all the way over in Tennessee, and my director for our team, EquiSearch, he's all the way in Ohio, and he called me about it. I reached out to DutyRon about it. Just know that don't give up hope, and know that there are tons of people out there, even when you don't think that they're doing anything, they're doing stuff, and they just got to do it. Of course, it's a process, but just know that we're here to help in any way possible that we can, and our services are completely free. DutyRon, he's going to make sure that her face stays out there. That's very, very, very important. Make sure you get her face out there. I don't care if you've told the same person 10 times over. Keep telling them, because sometimes somebody will see something and not think it's important, and then you tell them again, and then they remember, and then they start speaking of it. But we are here to do whatever we possibly can to help you. Like I said, our services are completely free, and DutyRon has our contact information that you would need to be able to get in touch with us, so that we can get the ball rolling to see what we can do to assist.
Okay. I appreciate that. And I will definitely, I am in contact with the lead investigator. So I will definitely send that to him.
And I'll get you all the information as it pertains to EquiSearch. Most law enforcement agencies know, and I'm the liaison that kind of, they would contact me, they would communicate with me, and being a retired, New York City police detective, I've been up to Saratoga Springs many a times to pick prisoners up and bring them back down to the city. So I've been in that area. I know the area. So and I know the troop. I think it's Troop P up there. I think
Wilton. Wilton State Police. Yeah.
They used to do, the state police used to do, like, they would do pickups from the prisons up there. They would go to the state prisons and take the guys out for us if it was too far away, and they would drive them to the troop barracks, and we would go and pick them up. So I had a really good relationship with the state police because we dealt with them all the time. If they need or they want this kind of service, they could do this remote. They don't even have to go there. Twyla and her team, all they do is they contact the state police. They sign all these waivers where they're not going to promise to not share it. It's part of an investigation, and they share those images, and then Twyla puts it in a computer program, and it runs it. And if any of those images that they collected where the naked eye can't see, this program can pick it up. So it's fascinating technology. I know that you have a lot on your plate and a lot going on. I'm just so thankful and honored that you came on to give us a little bit of info. I mean, I don't want anything, obviously out there that would that would harm the integrity of what they're doing. But if there's anything that could be corrected, like this police superintendent put out that it was an orange shirt, those little things are important.
Yeah, there was a lot of mistakes on the original Amber Alert.
Okay. And what were those?
And a lot of I would say the question I keep getting the most is, why did they wait so long for the Amber Alert? And I'm sure you can address that, but there are probably strategic things with that. And also the fact that they want to confirm that it is a abduction
Right.
before they do that. So that was part of the reason. But then when they put it out, they didn't have her eye color. They had her height wrong. So I went and met with the PIO, and I made sure that that all got corrected, because that's really important. And in every soundbite that I gave in in the press conference, in the media interviews that I did, I made sure I described her. So I do know everybody out from everywhere. I mean, geez, I've been hearing from people literally across the country,
Right.
is on the lookout for her, and they have an idea of what she looks like. And like you said, the clothing she was wearing, um, so I feel that someone will see her, or,
Yeah.
because they did state very early on that they don't feel like she's at the park.
That's the thing, is what they did, and this is what people in the chat, even the live chatters here, are upset like that it took that long to put the
Yeah,
alert out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
they have to rule out, and people who do professional searching, Twyla knows this, they have to rule out if she had an accident or fell, or something
right.
happened and she was in the woods. So they had to search, and we saw the overshot, the aerial shot of that location. That state park is humongous.
It is. It's really actually really scary, because it's like they cut the campsite into the woods, essentially, right? But then not only is it like all woods, but there's a huge lake.
Here it is. I have it up
Yeah.
on the screen.
And that's right. Bonita Lake, I guess maybe, is that little separate one. I'm
Yeah,
just
over here to the
learning.
left. Yeah.
Yep. So, but it's all like kind of almost like Adirondack mountainous terrain.
Right.
So you couldn't even really, like, I guess you could hike it, but I don't even know if it's really hikeable.
It
You
looks
can't even
so
really get
dense.
into it,
It looks,
most of
yeah,
it.
it looks so dense, and my
Yep.
my initial worries, and I'm not saying this to this is probably something that you've all probably discussed as a family together. My first concern was indigenous wildlife, right? Because you have black bear up there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you have a ton of critters up there, and
Yes.
at 6:15, 6:30,
Yep.
we know just from people like, here I live in Long Island, we have tons of deer.
Yes.
They come out at that time when the sun's starting to go down. So those are worries, and I think the state police they're very thorough, and they're going to probably do it over again starting tomorrow,
Yeah.
where they'll search from the air, they'll use different technology, the geofencing and technology from cell data and from data that's in satellites and things of that nature. These are
Yep.
some of the things that they don't go into, and I'm not going to go into it here, but those are all tools that they have at their disposal
Yep.
to rule out, and they have to go step by step and rule these things out before they expand out into, again, getting her face out there. If somebody sees her in a convenience store, and God forbid somebody has her,
Yep.
the face,
Yeah.
the important information, the color of her eyes, her hair. And again, this is her aunt. And the correct pronunciation of your first name, is it Jean? Am I saying it right?
Jenè.
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 I'm sorry.
Yep. It's okay.
I suck at this stuff, man. I suck at names.
I'm used to it. I'm so tired at this
Jenè.
point. It doesn't even
One
matter.
one of my best friends that I'm really really close with. Her name is Jenè. So you're the only second person that I've heard of with that
Oh,
name,
I
Jenè.
love it.
So this
Yeah,
is
I know. I'm like, you think
Jenè.
I've been, I was on the Today Show for 10 years. Like I work in television. And I'm like, ugh, all these like years trying to put my name out there and people still don't say it right, I just gave up at a certain point. I was like, forget it.
Shit. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's
Jenè,
fine though,
well,
honestly. Whatever we can do to keep Charlotte's name in the media. I literally just talked to one of my producers that I worked with at Fox, and I got Nancy Grace's person. So
oh,
I
great.
mean, everybody's recommending different things and different people. So
Right.
um
I saw
I
News Nation did a piece on it. They're friends with Dan Abrams and that whole production.
love them too. They're
So
great.
so they've already
That's
got the story. They've already, I
uh,
mean, this is definitely out there.
yeah.
But
Yep.
I'm relying on local news. Like, I'm here on Long Island, which is, maybe what?
I worked for News 12 Long Island
Oh, okay.
back in my earlier days of my career.
Eileen La Palmer is, yeah,
Yes, oh,
I'm
she's a
friends
good
with
friend of mine.
her. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
worked with her at WPIX
Right.
also.
Now she's over there with Katie at WPIX.
Yeah, she was there and then she went back. Yeah.
Right, right. I was just on the phone with her a couple of weeks ago about Rex Heuermann and the Long Island serial killer, and so she's going to come on and do a little piece with me because she did some fantastic investigating reporting.
She's great. I should probably talk to her as well, I think maybe.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. I'm gonna. You know what? If you don't, I'm gonna do it. I planned on texting her tomorrow morning,
yeah.
see if she could do a piece or have you guys on or
Yep.
highlight the story.
Yep.
But all of the majors have it. 2475.
Yeah, they all
they-
called me.
yeah,
But here's the thing, Ron, like if the police are saying that they don't believe that she's in the park anymore,
right.
she could be anywhere from Mexico to Canada to. So that's when I really was like, okay, the national media are reaching out. There were local media from different markets reaching out to me. And given the fact that there's this amount of time has passed and she really could be anywhere,
Right.
it
Well,
is
no,
important that it's out in all of these places, that it's not just localized to the capital region in the Adirondacks.
right. Well, it's definitely nationwide now, and
Yeah.
when we do this, I have audience, international, but that's really not of a
Yep.
concern at this point.
Yep.
I feel in 24 to, now we're going past that 24-hour period. This time is critical, and it's not easy to move if this is an abduction, if this in fact is an abduction, it's not easy to move as what we would think. It's not as easy to move about with with a 9-year-old child. It really is not that easy. So the
Right.
more people that see this, the more people who share it, and that's why I'm asking all of the 1,900 people who are watching this, 1,800
That's
now.
amazing.
Let's
Thank you.
get everybody that's on here for this family and for our Charlotte. Get this picture, get her name out there, share it onto Facebook, Twitter, TikTok,
Yep.
Instagram, all of I have it in my police and crime chat group on Facebook. It's a private group, and it's got, I don't know, 5, 10, I don't know how many thousands of people are in there. So I'm streaming it live to my police and crime chat group. All of my police friends are in there.
Yep.
All the people that follow me on here. I've got it going out on Twitter, which is now X.
I know. And any of the tips, people have been sending me screenshots from X and different places, and I'm sending everything to the lead investigator. So it's really like no tip is insignificant. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely.
Like, even if someone's like, oh, someone had to have, first of all, just in the park alone, someone had to have seen something. It was a crowded, dinner time, busy campsite, 75-degree weekend day.
Right.
I find it very hard to believe that someone didn't notice something.
Yeah. I mean,
I always feel like somebody can't go missing without somebody not knowing.
Right. And that's what I don't understand. So if someone's afraid to speak up or unsure if it's important information,
do it anonymously.
I had someone message me and say she was there camping and she was taking beauty shots for Instagram. So even though there's no people in these photos, can I submit them? And I said, yes, because there might be some clue involved in a photo that can help.
Right. Here's a really good picture of her. I want to put it full screen. Is this an accurate depiction of?
So she actually now has bangs and highlights.
So with this
So
earlier photo?
I think I sent the photo yeah, the Amber Alert photo is more recent. Yes.
Okay. All right. And I have everything linked in the description here. So I'm asking everyone, when this is done, go and read everything in the description. Follow up with, news reports and things that are being reported. But the most accurate information, we have it right here tonight. And again, we have one of her family, this is her aunt, her aunt is coming on and talking with us about updated information. Again, if there's anything that Twyla and EquiSearch can do for the family, for anyone, when you speak to the investigators, mention them. They may just tell you, no, we got this, we're good, we don't need them. But if, God forbid, this thing goes on for a period of time, it's always good to have them in the hopper, ready to go.
Totally. I agree. I mean, literally, I think everybody's in the same boat. And the investigator said this to me too, but they will literally take any help and information that can be provided, because it's really all about finding a 9-year-old child and bringing her to safety. I mean, no egos involved, nobody stepping on anybody's toes. Like, this is literally all hands on deck.
This is perfect.
There's one goal and one goal only, and that's try to find her to bring her home.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't see my family members this way. It's like seeing how distraught and devastated they are. It's heart-wrenching. Like, the thing that has kept me focused, I guess, and like distracted, is being the media point person. I'm kind of working, I guess, essentially. So
Yeah.
it's like a blessing in a way for me, because I took this role on and I've been distracted. They are sitting there just waiting and
They're
thinking.
probably still in shock too,
Oh, absolutely. It's like, it's horrifying. Like, it's terrible. It's just really terrible to see them like this.
What's interesting too is, like, I went on to TikTok and I don't really go there often. I go to share my videos that I do here.
Yeah.
So I share like little clips, like short stories of my, covered cases of missing and, murder cases and things of that nature that I cover with my co-host. But I went on there and there was one of your friends, and she had a video that came up onto my suggested feed. I
Yep.
wasn't following her. I don't even know who she was, but she started with, the pointing her fingers at the picture, and
Yep.
like, so because of what she was doing, it put me onto it.
Yeah.
So
That's how it works.
so
And what's crazy is there's a hashtag on TikTok. I just finally went on there, I think because Lisa messaged me, like you said, and I have another friend who's an influencer on TikTok, and she has like 3 million followers, and she was like, "Oh, I shared and I told this person." So I went on there finally, and there's a hashtag for Charlotte that has over 1 million posts.
wow, that's
So
great.
it's like incredible. So I'm like, okay, this is
Find Charlotte? Hashtag
it's
find?
Charlotte Sena, I believe it or not, is her name, is over 1 million, and then Find Charlotte is also kind
Okay.
of prevalent.
Yeah, everybody.
But just her name.
Yeah, Charlotte Sena.
Yep.
In the chat. So it's not Sena, it's Sena.
It's Senna.
Right.
I know. Like, again, like I said, in my TV career, I've had to correct people multiple times. I'm like, it's not like John Cena. It's Senna. And so this is the worst case scenario of having to correct people with it. But yes, it's Senna. It's Senna.
Well, I want to just say, that we're honored that you're here. We thank you for coming on and spreading valid information and getting the word out for your niece. If there's anything that we could do to, help going forward, anything that develops, you now have my number. I'm going to share
Yes.
Twyla's and Dave's number with you.
Okay.
anything that we can do, any type of help. And again, they have these, he's right in Ohio. So I know he would get right in his truck and drive straight across to New
It's
York.
not that far, yeah.
No, it's not far at all. So
No.
he's a big, like 6'2", strapping, hulking guy. And they've been searching for the missing for so long. I think they're over 2,000 plus cases of searching for missing. And there's a Texas EquiSearch as well. This is the Northeast, well, they call him the Midwest chapter, but he covers everywhere.
Yes.
So these guys are phenomenal. They were offering their services for Gabby Petito when that was going on.
Yeah.
And many, many other cases. And
Yeah.
this new program that they're using, it's actually not new, but the program that they're using has successfully located missing loved ones. Many people just picking up those small bits of color, and that's why I text you about the color.
Yeah. Yes, because I know, of course, she was wearing a shirt that was like tie-dyed and multiple kind of shades.
Right.
But I did confirm, I believe it's been a long day, but I believe I did ask Trisha, and I think she said pink.
Okay.
Because what were they saying, orange or something like that? Yeah.
It said orange. It said orange.
It's pink.
Tie-dye with I think it was Pikachu, I think, on it.
Yeah, so it's Pokemon.
Yep.
And she loved
Pokemon,
she
I
loved
wonder if it's the picture that's on the Amber Alert, because that picture is
that's
pink
the
and
actual
white.
shirt. That's
Okay,
why they chose that picture.
Yes.
Because that is the
Okay.
actual shirt. And you can see it's pink.
Yeah.
So,
Pink and
again, they
white.
didn't know the color of her eyes either. And I was like, it's green.
This is from News Nation Prime, and I want to play this. If you don't mind, can I play this while you're
No,
here?
not at all. They actually just messaged me a little while ago. I'm trying to get back to everybody,
Right. All right, I'm going to play this, and then I'll let you run so you can get back to your
Right now, New York State Police are searching for a missing little girl they say is in imminent danger. An Amber Alert issued for 9-year-old Jenè Sena, who disappeared while camping with her parents. Authorities now believe she may have been abducted. Well, tonight, search crews from across the state have gathered in upstate New York, and Anthony Krolikowski has the very latest for us from Saratoga County.
Charlotte was camping with her family here in Moreau State Park. Last evening, she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark, right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops with close friends she considers her cousins.
Before dinner, Charlotte took one more ride around the park alone. 15 minutes passed and her parents began to worry.
At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing.
State police, park police, forest rangers, and others searched the grounds using a bloodhound and other canines, with aviation units, drones, and dive teams looking from above and in the nearby waters. The State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation conducted interviews of people in the park and surrounding region. Saturday's limited findings caused state police to believe Charlotte is in immediate danger, and they issued an Amber Alert Sunday morning at 9:35.
After that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
Charlotte's aunt met with News 10 as the family spokesperson. Jenè Sena says the parents are doing their best to stay hopeful for their daughter.
Anything that you may have seen, if you were anywhere around Loop A in the Moreau Lake State Park, will help them or could potentially help them find her.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
So there you go. I didn't even realize you were on that piece. This is, again, a case that we're going to be following closely. I'm going to let Jenè go because I know that she's got a lot to do, but I'm sending, again, on behalf of this whole community, there's at one point over 2,000 people watching this live, strength, prayers, and positive vibes from your now new friend in New York. Anything that you guys need, you just let us know. You reach out, and there's resources that we can get to you. We will get them to you immediately.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much, really.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. And again, this is a parent's worst nightmare, and would, again, just sending nothing but strength to you guys. So
thank you.
Thank you, Jenè.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. There she goes.
Okay.
Twyla, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. We hope and pray for a positive outcome here. And we're still in that stage. We're still in that very critical time frame. The first 48 hours are crucial in these cases. The first 24 are really important as well. So I'm hoping that the state police and investigators from the FBI, we know the FBI now is involved in this case. Hopefully they come up with something overnight and we hear some breaking news in the morning. I'm going to share her information with you and vice versa. I'll get the numbers back and forth. I had a couple of more things that I wanted to show quickly before we go, because there was some good map coverage. So let me just see if I can grab this, because we already heard most of the press conference, but I wanted to get this.
What was supposed to be.
Let me just look at this.
And DutyRon, you can make your connections too, and pass our information along also.
I definitely will. I definitely will. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to actually wait for her, and then I'm going to reach out. So let's just play this, and then we'll wrap it up.
What was supposed to be a fun fall weekend has turned into a nightmare for the family of 9-year-old Charlotte Sena.
She is a blonde, adorable little 9-year-old girl with bangs. She has green eyes, just under 5 feet tall, and she is just a sweet, adorable girl.
Charlotte and friends went for a bike ride around Loop A, where their cabin is located. Charlotte went for one last ride by herself before heading back. After 15 minutes, she hadn't returned. Family, friends, and nearby campers went looking for her.
At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing.
Massive search efforts have been going since 7 p.m. Saturday with drones, canine officers, aviation, and water search and rescue teams canvassing the state park. Charlotte was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon t-shirt,
We know
blue
it's
pants,
pink.
black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. During a press conference, New York State Police were questioned why, since the search started Saturday evening, they waited to send an Amber Alert for Charlotte until Sunday morning.
Following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
Governor Kathy Hochul at the search site on Sunday afternoon saying she has promised the Sena family law enforcement will bring Charlotte home.
We are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined in our search to find Charlotte. She's all of our daughters. Their family needs love. They need prayers.
Charlotte's aunt, Jenè Sena, spoke on behalf of the family, saying they are praying for their little girl's safe return.
No tip is insignificant. So if anyone has any information at all, saw anything in the vicinity of the entrance to the Moreau Lake State Park, or are camping here and have any information at all.
Pants, black Crocs.
So there's the photograph. People were asking. Again, it's not orange tie-dye. It's pink, as we know from Jenè, her aunt. She confirmed that with us. Twyla, I wanted to go to you quick because we heard about the search that they did, and we looked at the large body of water that was close by to where she was taking the bicycle ride. They used sonar in their boats in searching, and as you know, that's an exhaustive process. That takes a long time to search all parts of that huge body of water. And I showed it earlier in the live on a different piece. I want to go to it and just put that back up so you see how massive that is. Can you talk about how the drones in that heavily wooded, thick brush, those thick trees, how difficult that is to see down onto the ground, Twyla?
It's very difficult. Being down on the ground and seeing it with the thickness. When the drones are up in the air and they're looking down, it looks like just huge patches of broccoli, and it only takes probably about this much space between the trees for us to see down in there with that program that Shane Michaels, amazing program, and it's got so many new features and updates with it. It's amazing. It could actually process, I could process probably 100 images maybe within a minute or two, and it pulls out any image that has that particular color that we're looking for. And if there's something there that I'm just curious about and I'm not too sure about, I send it over to Gene in Texas. If Gene's not available, I make contact with Shane, the creator of this himself, and we all three work together. We've had success with it, and it's some pretty amazing technology we use. But from the air, with the drone looking down, it looks like just huge patches of broccoli. Huge patches of broccoli. It's exactly what it looks like.
Right, and that's what we're seeing here. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
This is the
that
huge
was like some really thick stuff.
Right. State Police Superintendent, we heard him talk there. He sounded confident that they searched this entire area. Now, again, 6:15 was the last time that it was confirmed that she went to take that additional lap around the bike path, and then at 6:45. So it was just 30 minutes. How far can a 9-year-old get in 30 minutes? Now, of course, when you put the abduction possibility into play, but somebody had to have seen her. We heard Jenè say this was a crowded, packed park. So it wasn't like there was just only a couple of people there. There was a lot of people there. And that's what gets me thinking. When you're saying when there's a lot of people there, there's a lot of possibilities for bad people to be there.
Exactly. Yep. I feel like somebody can't go missing without somebody not knowing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It takes that one pedophile, that one freak, that one dysfunctional, evil monster to do something like this. And a girl riding her bike, 9-year-old, on a path is an opportunity. Let's go to the chat and say hello to everybody, because so many people have been live in the chat, and I apologize that I missed you. Thank you to the new members. A lot of people became members during the course of this. Caroline, thank you. Carolyn, thank you for being a member. There's a couple of super chats came in and so forth. Kim Alliston, Robbie from Australia, Katie Lynn, thank you for becoming a member. Again, let's remember, this is about Charlotte Sena. Charlotte Sena, not Cena. And I think Cena's spelt with a C. John Cena is a C-E-N-A. But Charlotte Sena, 9 years young, and we have her description. I mean, I have it written down, 5'1", and some are arguing that she's a little bit smaller than that, because that was on the poster. It was like, I don't know, 4 foot and change, 4'7", 4'8", whatever, 90 pounds, dirty blonde hair, and her aunt said that she has bangs now, shoulder length in this description, tie-dye Pokemon, pink shirt, blue pants, and black Crocs. We're going to follow this closely. I got to get to bed because I got to get up for work tomorrow, but I knew that if I started my work week, that this was going to be hard to squeeze this in. So again, I'm going to put her picture up. I'm going to get this up on the screen as we segue out of here. Again, here's the poster. Amber Alert. This is updated. It's linked in the description. For those of you who are posting on your platforms, put hashtag Charlotte Sena in the hashtag. That's what her aunt said that she wanted, and that was, I believe, she said was trending. Put hashtag Charlotte. You could put it here in the chat. You could put it on your social media platforms, and let's get the word out there. Twyla, I want to thank you for popping in at a moment's notice. You guys are. This is what's great when we have missing people, missing persons cases. As long as law enforcement gives the blessing, EquiSearch is true angels. These are people who will not charge a dime for any services, not come and look for press conferences and so forth from the media. If the media is there and they're going to do interviews, they're going to do interviews, but they're there to do their job, and that is bring the missing home. Lost is not alone is their hashtag. I'm going to also put that in the description here, and share it everywhere that you can. Share it out there and talk about it. And again, thank you.
She's the same age as my little girl. And when Dave called me about it, I started doing research, and I was on the phone with him, and I was like, okay, I'm getting in touch with DutyRon right now. And no matter where you are, it doesn't matter how far, how wide, wherever you are, share that little girl's flyer as far as you could possibly share it, because that one, it only takes that small piece of information to get, to big things that need to be brung to light to try to get her home. And we're here. DutyRon will make your contacts, do whatever you have to do. We're here, and our services are absolutely free, and we'll do whatever it takes to help try to bring her home.
Right. And this goes for any cases. Anybody that has a missing loved one, you can send an email to dutyron.com or to EquiSearch, their Facebook page. Twyla is always available to look at these cases and evaluate them, reach out to the various law enforcement outlets. If they give the blessing, they'll go. If they don't, EquiSearch does not nosy or bud their way into the searching for the missing if they're not welcomed by the law enforcement and the family, for that matter, as well. So again, thank you so much for joining, everybody. Again, we hope for and we pray for a good result here. These are so difficult. These missing children are heart-wrenching. They're heart-wrenching. So, Twyla, thank you for joining. Thank you to everybody in the chat, and we will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Twyla, I love you.
Love you too, DutyRon.
All right, we'll see you soon. Peace
All
out.
right, bye-bye.